You are smart, you are kind, and you are amazing. If you're saying those to your toddler, first, I love that you're saying anything at all. But I have to be straight with you. They're not sticking. Not because affirmations don't work, because generic ones don't. A little brain can't hold amazing, it slides right off. And while it slides off, something else is happening that most parents never think about. Your kid is building the voice they're going to hear in their own head for the rest of their life. Right now, this year, this moment. Somebody is going to write that voice. It's either going to be you on purpose or the world by accident. Today, I'll show you how to make sure it's you with one line, one moment, and about 10 seconds a day. I'm Cherie, a former teacher and a mom. This one matters more than letters and number. Let's go. So here's what this usually looked like. You saw a cute affirmation card online. So one morning, you're pumping your toddler up. You're amazing. You're smart. You're the best. And they just keep playing with the trucks. Nothing lands. So eventually it fades out because it felt a little silly and you couldn't tell if it was doing anything. Here's why it didn't land. Amazing isn't a thing. A toddler brain, honestly, anybody's brain doesn't grab onto fog, it grabs onto specifics. Your kind just can float away. You check on people when you're sad. That sticks because your kid can actually see themselves doing it. The words have to match something real about who they are, or they're just noise. So the problem was never affirmations. The problem is the version we've all been handed is just too vague to hold. Meanwhile, the inner voice is getting built anyway out of whatever your kid hears most. That's the gap. Nobody's writing the script on purpose, but today we're going to. Let me show you where this goes because I stood at the end of this road for years. I taught middle school, and I cannot count how many times a kid sat down at my desk, looked at the work, and said, even before trying, I can't do this. I'm just not good at math. I'm just not good at reading. I'm just not good at what I taught business education. 12, 13, 14 years old. No evidence that they're not good at it. None. Nobody is born believing that. That voice was installed one moment at a time over years while nobody was watching. And by the time they reached my classroom, it wasn't an opinion anymore. It was just who they thought they were. Maybe you were that kid. Maybe you've watched a kid you love become that kid. Or maybe you just knew in your bones that your baby is not going to be that kid. Good, good, good. Hold on to that. I'll tell you the truth. I was that kid. I experienced that. But I also watched the voice get rewritten. That's the part I need you to hear. I had a student come to me once carrying heavy things about how she looked, about how school was going, her struggles, and all I had on my desk was a stack of sticky notes. So we wrote some together. Not you are beautiful, not the generic stuff everyday adults say, but we wrote specific things, true things about who she actually was. Those exact words were hers and they stayed hers. She put them on the mirror at home. And about a month later, she walked back into my room unprompted and said, Miss Jones, can I have some more sticky notes? Those really helped me. She'd been reading them every single morning. The voice was shifting. At her age, it took sticky notes and a little bit of courage. At your toddler's age, it takes 10 seconds a day. That's the whole reason to start right now. Okay, there are 3 steps. The first step is one specific line. The second step is one real moment. The third step is one daily repeat. Okay, so step one specific line. Pick one thing that is actually true about your toddler or one thing they're working on right now. Not just a generic, you're smart, but try, you keep trying even when it's hard. That's more specific. Here's another example. Not you're kind, but try you take care of people. So it should be short enough to say in your sleep, but specific enough that your kid can recognize themselves in it. And here's the moves that makes it more powerful. Tie it to whatever your toddler is working on right now. So if you are working on big feelings, you can say, you can feel mad and calm down. You always calm down. Here's another example. If you're working on trying new things, you can say, you are brave when things are new. The line should sound like your specific kid, not like a poster. And because I know you may be struggling to think about this now, here are some age appropriate examples, okay? So at age 1, you can say, you are safe with mom. You are safe with mommy and daddy. Another one is, you are loved no matter what. At this age, it's the tone and the rhythm going in more than the actual words being said. At age 2, here are some examples. You are brave when things are new. At age 3, here's an example. You ask the best questions because they're going to ask 11 of them. At age 4, here's an example for you. You're the kind of kid who keeps trying. At age 5, here's an example. You figure things out even when they're tricky. So pick one of these examples or something similar, most importantly, that's applicable to your specific child, and make sure it's true and make sure it's theirs. Okay, step 2, one real moment. Don't go looking for the perfect timing, but actually anchor it to a moment that's already happening every single day, no matter what. So if that is buckling in the car, if that is the first hug of the morning or the kiss before bed, that moment is now where your new line and affirmation lives. It rides on a routine you can't skip, so it never depends on you just randomly remembering. Okay, so final step, step 3, one daily repeat. That means the same line at the same moment every day, not 5 different lines. 5 lines means none of them will stick. So here's what every teacher knows: a kid's brain keeps what it has heard 100 times. So one specific line said for 1 year, 1 month, or a few weeks stops being something you just say and remember out of nowhere. It actually becomes something they are. So if this is hitting, subscribe. Every week, I'll identify one more gap worth catching and exactly how to fill it. Now, let me tell you what 10 seconds a day actually buys. So, in the short term, somewhere around week 3 or 4, you're going to catch your toddler saying it back. Maybe it just may be one word of it. And you're going to feel it all in your chest because you realized they heard every single one every time you have done it. It was going in the whole time. But here's the real payoff. Your child is going to be 12, 13, 14, 11 one day. sitting at a desk, staring at something hard in a world that is louder than the one you and I grew up in. So, phones, comparisons, all of it all day long. And in that moment, a voice is going to speak first in their head. For the kids I taught, the voice too often said, I'm not smart. I'm not good enough. But for your kid, it's going to say, I keep trying even when things are hard, in a voice that sounds a whole lot like yours. That's not a poster, that's armor. And you built it at the car seat when you was buckling them in 10 seconds at a time. My older daughters are teenagers now, and they still write their affirmations on the bathroom mirror in a dry erase marker, write specific ones about what they're working on. Because once a kid learns the voice in their head is theirs to shape, they shape it for life. That's what you're starting this week. So let's lock it in. Again, one specific line, one real moment, and one daily repeat. That's how you write the voice on purpose. And if you're not sure what your kid is working on right now, which is exactly what your line should be built from, that's what my free guide is for. Is stop guessing the 5 gaps your toddler has and how to fill them. Find your toddler's gap and your line practically will write itself. So click the link in the description and grab it before tonight. And listen, I love to keep it real with you. The first 10 times you say your line while buckling them in the car seat or kissing them goodnight, you're going to feel ridiculous. You're going to feel like you're talking to nobody. But I'm here to tell you, say it anyway. This isn't magic words, it's repetition, the same way they learn mama. Quiet for weeks, then suddenly it's theirs. Suddenly they can't stop saying it. So one line for a year beats 5 lines for a week every time. So tonight, pick your line, one specific true tied to what your kid is working on. Then pick your moment. If that is the car seat, if that is when you give your first hug or kiss, if that is before dinner, if that is before your bedtime tuck in, pick one moment and say it tonight just once. Then say it tomorrow. Then the day after. That's it. That's the whole practice. 10 seconds a day and you're writing the voice your child keeps forever. Nobody else can do that. Not a show, not a school. The voice has to sound like home. And if you want to know why this one is just so personal for me, the kid I used to be, the voice I grew up with, and what I'm doing it this time around after a 13-year age gap, that story is right here. I'll meet you there.